One of our members turned $1,000 into $300,000 in 90 days, and I know exactly what you're thinking. Probably thought you got lucky. You probably thought you hit like one crazy trade, but that's actually not what happened. This is a long grind of being uh, just a very disciplined trader, and I'm gonna break down exactly what happened. Break down essentially everything from scratch to the 90-day period, and show you guys how this is able to even be possible and how the my team and the entire Discord server was able to help out this trade here. So firstly, before we get into it, this is not typical at all whatsoever. Most traders will lose money. In fact, 99% of meme coin traders lose money. So this is not like a one soul to like 1,000 soul, one soul in the dream type situation. This is not common. You can make a lot of money like this, but like this is a once and a blue moon story, turning basically nothing into a couple 100,000. Even stories that show up to people making a couple of millions of dollars, right? Um, Trading is inherently risky as well. You got to understand, especially with meme coins, it's the most like volatile uh, piece of the trading ecosystem you can be a part. So as long as you understand that, then we can dive into this with a clear mind, so that you can see what's possible still. And the reason I still want to show it is because um, this compounding strategy is still possible for people to go ahead and apply. So, but just know this isn't going to happen to everybody. So, uh, firstly, just showing what actually ended up happening here. His name is Cake. He made $300,000 from $1,000 in 90 days. And as you can see, there's some screenshots. Me and my team reviewing it, because when he first sent this, I mean, there's a lot of people who larked in crypto. I've known him for a very long time, but we still have to confirm. He confirmed everything on chain. He, showed us all the trades. So this is 100% legit. And over here, I know it's like kind of cutting a little bit with my base candle over here. He's just explaining how basically the server and him learning the process, made him become the trader he is today to get to the point he is right now. So now diving into what actually happened from day zero all the way to that 90-day period, you have to understand that Doug Cake and the most majority of traders are just not following the correct systems, and they have no idea what to do, right? They're following KOLs on Twitter. They're aping after people that show something in Telegram, right? And when Doug Cake started, he was down bad. He got rinsed like over 10 times from complete scratch, with zeros, seeing no results at all. And he had $1,000 left, and one decision. He was like, man, I need to learn how I can get this shit going. And he had $1,000 left at the time, so like around 10 soul. He's like, man, I need to learn how to get this going. I need to stop fucking buying these trash calls and not thinking for myself. And I need to implement something that I know I can consistently do over time that has worked for others. And that's what he understood would take him to the next level to upgrade as a trader. The biggest switch that turned him from a losing trader to someone actually making money was following the trend factor formula. This is a trading system that me and a couple of my friends had learned over the years of trading meme coins. I'd say it's the best trading strategy for meme coins in any sort of market, especially right now with volume being a little bit slower. In simple terms, like breaking it down, you mainly want to aim for a narrative that is very normie based. Like an example is like something like Tinting Sahur. That's something a lot of people know outside of crypto trader, right? So something that's just normie based is anything that like you can go down the street and ask the random kid and he knows without even knowing anything about crypto, right? Those are the usually the best types of coins to buy, just because they gain so much attention and mainstream virality before even crypto Twitter catches up, before anyone on the broad generality of Twitter even catches up in general. You want to find a coin attached to that normie narrative and make sure that that coin is, bottomed out. There's not any PGPs or ranks or anything like that. There's holders that are growing. There's actually volume, so there's demand there. And you want to make sure the coin's at a couple $100,000 market cap at least. I usually don't like buying anything under 100K. It can just be manipulated way too easily. Like a couple people can dump and send the coin to zero. So it's early enough to still catch like a 10, 20x, which even you don't really even need that. Even consistent 2x plays like add up. But 100K, you're still early enough to like hit genuine X's, whereas people think they're late when it's not the case at all. And you're gonna dodge the uh headache of getting rugged from complete zero. There's a couple of rules that Doug Cake never broke that actually made him a successful trader over the last 90 days. So firstly, all he did was to make sure that every single trade he entered confirmed the transfer formula. So uh we have the thing where there's like it doesn't line up with the transfer formula. There's no entry, no volume, no entry. So we make sure we go through that checklist. We make sure everything falls into line, and then we can actually consider buying the coin. He also makes sure that he's buying bare minimum of 0.1% of the coin supply that had an adequate amount of actually being able to hold and seeing like good returns. Because when you have 0.1%, that means basically at $1 million market cap, your position is worth $1,000, right? So 5 million, your position is worth 5,000, and so on. And it's very easy to calculate the math since every coin on Punk on Solana launches with $1 billion of supply. So if you have zero point 0.1 of the supply, you can make pretty good gains without the coin having to go that high. And you can exit at a couple mil and still make a couple $1,000. Whereas owning anything under 0.1% just really isn't worth holding because if the coin goes all the way to $1 million in market cap, your position is still under $1,000. Doug Cake is also very good at taking profits. Sometimes he will literally just buy and go for a 30% to 40% scalp, 50%. But usually sometimes he will take initials at 2x and let the rest ride if he like truly believes in the narrative, and then just trim as the price continues to increase. The hardest part was the first 30 days because he obviously had to start from $1,000, but this point he went from $1,000 all the way to 16,000, and it was just continuously doing the same thing over and over again. The Rex days, as I like to call it. Small positions, maximum strictness, and following the rules. And the goal wasn't really insane profit. It's proving to himself that he can follow the rules without like messing up or blowing up his portfolio or registering or any of that shit. And as you can see, as it goes up the score, he's doing heavy DCAing. We really put a huge emphasis on the strategy of dollar cost averaging to lower your entry so you can buy a good amount of supply and scoop it up while sentiment might be down, and then you can go ahead and take profit on the next catalyst. So on this trade specifically, he made $2,000 just by DCAing, and then he was able to essentially one click everything for a 25 soul gain. And you can see at the bottom here saying cursor strategy works for real because it was essentially just following the turn factor formula with all these trades. Now, from day 31 to day 60, it was the same system, just like bigger size, since now he had $16,000 to play with. Nothing new was added, no new strategies, just doing the same exact thing over and over again, but buying bigger size relative to his portfolio, but making sure not to oversize and sell. So, like, if he takes a loss, it doesn't like affect his portfolio too much. And here's a couple of trade recaps. Again, he did the same thing over and over again. And that got him up to about 100 soul realized in his P&L. And he calls it the whale strategy because he's going like a higher market cap. As you can see, he's like thinking of getting the Rolex. And then we have members asking like, hey, man, like, how are you following these trades? Like some members will try to trade a different style, and Doug Cake really got everyone onto following the trend factor formula, which is now the go-to for the entire server and anyone that hops onto Wi-Fi routers. At phase three, so around like 60 days in, he was almost already at 6 figures, and it was just the same exact thing, but making sure he focused on runners specifically. And with finding the early runners, it's not luck; it's just exposure. Like being the market for this long and identifying like, okay, I can see that this is gonna run because this ran last week or this ran and went to X amount of market cap. You can really develop a really good eye to know what's gonna run in the market, and if you can just position yourself into that, you are going to win. Especially when you had like this much size, you really can just buy like 0.5%, maybe even 1% of a coin if you're uh like early and make really really good return. All starts with just starting the narrative and then doing the on-chain check. This isn't like anything insane, but you don't want to make sure you're buying a bundled coin, right? So you just want to check the volume, make sure there's actual real holders, no bundlers. Want to make sure again you're not buying below 100K market cap. You want to make sure you're actually holding. You don't really want to G, basically waiting for adequate catalysts so that the price goes up, and then you can start exiting upon those catalysts and taking profits and rotating. And every step is checkable. It is ran through a checklist, so you know exactly what to do every step of the way. Nothing is special. It's just following the rules over and over again and not breaking anything. So this involved no KOL calls on Twitter. I know you'll see a lot of your favorite influencers saying like, "Oh hey, buy this, buy this, buy that," but you're just going to be used as exit liquidity. The best way to go about Twitter is to use it for information and then come to your own consensus, come to your own research, or come to your own conclusion on coins and think for yourself. Dubcake actually didn't really have any revenge trades. If he lost the trade, he just logged like what he did wrong. Maybe it was just a narrative that was past due. There wasn't any like potential catalyst, and then he just walked away and waited for the next setup. He really never dwindled on losses or had that many insane losses. But yes, he did. Obviously, lose. Everyone loses. No one has 100% win rate. He also did not FOMO, not buying any coins that are above basically just way too high of a market cap. Like, anything above 5 mil, yeah, you can still make very good money on, but you're gonna need to be buying a lot of size, and especially relative to his portfolio, just not there right now. So he skipped those coins and waited for coins to meet the threshold of the entry that was adequate to his portfolio size. Now, what does this mean for you right now? You know, the person watching this video, you're like, damn man, this guy really fucking made it. Can I genuinely do this? You have to learn that this skill is learnable. Even for me, I started from scratch. I didn't know anything about the market, and I built my way up like Doug Cake did, and everything is learnable on chain. You just have to learn how to read narratives, stay online as much as possible, be disciplined. Like meme coins, in a sense, aren't even really hard. It's just more so the mindset thing and making sure you don't break your rules and you have a set guideline of what you're going to do for every single trade. Right now, we are in the bear market, which is the best time to be trading. Dubcake essentially did this when people and everyone was saying meme coins are dead and it's over, and he was still able to turn $1,000 into multiple six figures. Everything is so slow right now, and you learning when everyone is not really paying attention to crypto is gonna build up your skills so that when things do start to heat up, you'll understand exactly what you need to do to catch up and make as much money as you can in the bull market. And one big thing, obviously, not quitting no matter how many times you show up and get rinsed. As long as you're learning from what you did before, journaling your trades, and keep showing up, you will eventually start to get things down and progress as a trader. Now, if you're a struggling trader right now, or you want to get started with meme coins, so you have no idea where to start, the best place I'm going to shoot you over to is my free bear market survival guide. It's completely free. I basically break down the best way to trade and how to navigate the bear market to come out of essentially to come out of the bear market a great trader when things do heat up. I have a link in the description to it, or you can just comment the word bear on any of my Instagram reels and it'll send it to you directly in DMs. It's completely free and it'll help you out if you are a beginner trader or if you've been trading for a couple months and years and you're still not understanding the process. Other than that, hope you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, join the Discord as well. You can speak to me or Doug Cake directly in there to see if you had like any further questions on top of the free resources I had. So, other than that, it's been Chris. Chris out and out. Peace.